Hi there. Let's take a quick look at the concept called outsourcing. With outsourcing, a business makes a choice and it decides not to do a process itself, but to delegate a business process or activity to an external provider or supplier. So with outsourcing, you get somebody else to own and manage and deliver the process, hopefully to the agreed standard. Now, outsourcing is pretty common in business. Most businesses, for example, don't necessarily want to get involved in the delivery and the logistics of getting their products to consumers, so they'll outsource them to specialist providers like DPD and Hermes. Similarly, a lot of businesses don't have the expertise or the capacity to manage all of their own call centres, so they outsource them to specialist call centre operators. And of course, in the field of IT and computer systems, it's often the case that you get external specialist providers, for example, to manage servers and to manage computer security. So outsourcing is pretty common in business, and effectively it comes about from a decision. The business has to decide what does it want to do itself and what does it want to buy in from other businesses. And you can see therefore that the benefits of outsourcing include the ability to be able to access specialist expertise, suppliers who have perhaps greater capacity, and if they're able to access economies of scale, potentially even lower costs of providing the service. You can imagine that DPD, for example, as one of the leading logistics firms, has such a scale that it's able to operate at lower unit costs than a business that wanted to operate its own delivery service. Another benefit of outsourcing is that it makes operations more flexible. You can add or take away capacity as required, and therefore allows the business to focus on the activities where it can add value, perhaps what you might call its core activities. There are, of course, some potential drawbacks, some downsides of outsourcing. One is a risk that the outsourced supplier fails to deliver the right quality, or in other ways doesn't deliver on the promises made for the service. And of course, there's no guarantee that the costs from the external provider will be significantly lower. All that depends on is, or a lot of it depends on, is the contract that is agreed between the business and the outsourced supplier. However, outsourcing is pretty common in business. Now, just a quick word of caution. Two similar sounding words that mean slightly different things. So don't confuse outsourcing with a similar sounding word, offshoring. With outsourcing, as we've seen, somebody else does the work for the business. Offshoring is about the work being done in a different place, in a different country. And we've done a separate video on offshoring. There we go then. That's a quick introduction to the concept of outsourcing.